Congratulations, you are now SHRM certified. Okay, so maybe these are my results, but I always give you guys feedback and advice on how to pass the exam, but I have never showed you what the results look like. So as you can see, May 6th, last year, 2023, I passed the SHRM exam. Oh, happiest day of my life. I was stressed. So this is what your results will look like. It tells you that certified is at the 200 level. So regardless if I made like 250, 290, 300, it caps out at 200. So if you make below 200, you have to take it again. All right. Now, aside from just giving you a score of 200 or less, they also give you a breakdown of what you scored highest in. So remember those competencies I was telling you about? This is why they are so important to understand, which is why I made my BAS Simplified Study Guide, which we will get into a second. But here is how they break it down. So the people competency, organization, workforce, interpersonal, business, and leadership. So for little old money, here is my scope and sequence of how I did. I am very proud of myself. Pat on the back. Because I did not score in an area of improvement. And there's nothing wrong if you do, but I was just shocked because, girl, you're kind of smart. So I'm going to just go through where you see people. I was, almost at the line for area of improvement, which makes sense because I had never managed anyone, not even managed my own program at the time. Organization, this makes sense for me to be the highest in because at the time I was working in organizational development. So I would hope that they were teaching me something. So that makes the greatest sense. Workforce. Okay, I can see how I did. I'm a little hot. One second. All right. This ring light is tearing me up. Anywho, so workforce, I can see that. What else? Interpersonal, it's so crazy because I consider myself a people person through and through. But from an HR perspective, I can see where I would need to tweak in that area because interpersonal communication, well, whatever, that's a whole other thing. So business, I scored the highest in that area. And I was really surprised because I'm like, I am not... what? Like, I've never thought of myself as like entrepreneur minded or whatever the case may be, but I guess I proved myself wrong. And then leadership. Okay, so I had never been in a leadership position either. So, but I mean, out of all of the ones that I scored a little bit low in, leadership seems to be leading in that area. So, hey, I'll take that. Now that you see why the competencies are actually important for you to understand before getting to any other material, I'm going to give a little bit deeper context of how to use the Simplified Study Guide that I created for you all for BASC. Now that you have that lovely breakdown of how important the competencies are, you're literally scored on them and your knowledge of them. So if you do not have understanding of them prior to getting into SHRM material or any other learning material for the exam, it gets a little confusing because you don't understand how to apply the correct answer if you don't know what competency the question is related to. Does that make sense? So today, class is in session. Now, I feel like I left y'all a little high and dry. I dropped the BAS study guide and I really did not get into in-depth understanding of it as I wanted to. I feel like it's a little self-explanatory, but you never know. And I want you to be able to use it to your best ability if you choose to purchase, which I hope you will. And if you have already purchased, thank you. Kisses, kisses, kisses. Please drop a comment below if you have and if it was beneficial to you. Give us some feedback and let us know how you're liking it. But other than that, let's get into it. Now, after making your purchase, you do receive the guide directly to your email where you can save it and download it. You can access it from your phone, your laptop, or your iPad, any of those things, and you will see it here. All right, so let's get into it, guys. So within the guide, you are going to use critical thinking to the next level. So let's just say to best understand the competency of leadership and navigation, I want you to think about a few things that come to mind when you hear the word leadership. All right, so for me, I'm going to say my thoughts are integrity, interpersonal skills, Knowledgeable. I can't stand I can't stand somebody in leadership who knows nothing. Knowledgeable, integrity, interpersonal skills, knowledgeable, trustworthy. And I think we're good with there. So just thinking of things that you think of when you hear the word leadership, what are some thoughts of yours, okay? Now, remember I told y'all you use the SHRM actual BASC, Body of Applied Skills and Knowledge. Go to their website and download it, because this is your textbook reference as it relates to your homework, which is this SHRM BASC study guide, right? So on here, I'm going to scroll down to the leadership and the leadership cluster, basically. So with my thoughts of what leadership is, here they tell me that, okay, so now that I know what I think, let me see if what I think is actually what SHRM deems a competent leader. So here they have navigating the organization as a sub-competency, and in that, for leadership, they say that they should demonstrate an understanding of formal and informal work roles. That relates to how I feel that a leader should be knowledgeable. Check. So maybe I do have a little understanding. Let's see what else I can find that relates to what I know to a leader to be. Okay, so another sub-competency is going to be influence. As you can see here, I'm looking right at the download from SHRM's BASC website. So you have serve as an advocate for the organization or employees to advance the organization's strategic direction and goals. To me, in order to do that and have that influence, you're going to have to be trustworthy, and you're going to have interpersonal skills. Those are checking off nicely. All right, so now that you see that some of your stuff is checking off and you actually have a somewhat understanding of what it means to be a leader within HR, you still want to take a look at those things or competencies or sub-competencies that you didn't quite write down or think of. So for me, I'm just sitting here jotting down things, but let's just say you forgot to think about managing HR initiatives. You want to be able to put down, okay, so leaders should also be able to define and elaborate on projects set by leadership. Now, it gets tricky. Do not get in the weeds of this. Pick you about 2 or 3 that you feel like are solid for you to remember what it means to manage HR initiatives. Don't get on there and lose your doggone mind, okay? So right there, I could sum that up. Project management, budgeting, identifying and monitor resources. Like, don't get on there and get in the weeds. Literally, whether you're studying for the certified professional or senior certified professional, pick, I'm going to say 2. Don't even pick 3. Pick 2 that stand out the most and just put it in your own words as to what it really means to you, okay? So that's what that is. And then I want you to think about how what you thought versus what you now know, and combine them together, even if it's new knowledge that you're attaining. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, it makes sense. All right. Now, once you are done making all these beautiful connections, I do ask you some more thought-provoking things just for you to really hone in and understand what that competency means. So an example is, what does it mean to have thorough knowledge of the organization? What does that mean to you? Once you jot that down and have an understanding, like, okay, well, this is what it means to me, go back and read what it says on the BASC website to see if you are still gaining understanding. Another question is, what does influence look like within an organization? Do you understand the concept of buy-in? These are things that fall into the leadership cluster. If you don't even know what buy-in is, it's not a bad thing. That just means, hey, maybe I need to look and see what it means. By the way, it means just to, let's just say you have an idea and you want people, or you have a project that you want to present or something you want to work on. Before you go present it to leadership or present it to your manager, you need to have a scaled out plan to where when you tell them about it, they're like, oh yeah, no questions asked. I'm all in. I'm all game for it. That's what it means to get buy-in, to people to buy in to your idea of what you would like to do. Just a little reference there. But yeah, class is officially done for today. I hope that this was beneficial to you all. Those who have already purchased the guide, I appreciate you more than you know, and I really hope it's helpful. If you have any comments or questions, or you would like to have more of these type of videos, please let me know below, and we can get into that. But other than that, go purchase your guide. Congratulations in advance. You got it. God got you. And I hope that you all have a lovely day.